Good evening, everyone. Welcome along to the VCO chat show with me, Ben Constanduros. It's called the VCO Esports Studio. We should give it the proper name. Tonight, we've got a guy that we should have had on months and months ago, to be honest. We like to merge the virtual and the real world, and this guy was the first person to really do that in another competition that I was involved with in the Race of Champions. He has also recently won the Bathurst 12 Hours with a real life racing driver in the name of Max Verstappen, and therefore it was high time that we celebrated that little win with Enzo Bonito. Enzo, fantastic to finally have you with us because I've been doing this for a good 6 months now and I hadn't had a chance to speak to you till now.
Yeah, same for me. Hey guys, thank you for having me. Yeah, I've been looking for you and the races and everything, and it's nice to be here now.
So, Enzo, let's talk firstly about last weekend. Winner of the Bathurst 12 Hours by what we would say in England a country margin, a huge margin. Obviously, Max Verstappen being your teammate, it's not an easy place to keep safe, but you ultimately had a pretty clean run.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We started training for this really hard, like 3 weeks before the actual race. I think that was um, for me the most hours I put in for an endurance race. Actually, my first win of the all the endurance I did, not many, but if it's finally a win, was looking for this for a long time. But yeah, the team just did an outstanding job. I mean, not only us, me and Max, but the other cars that were with us. Team Redline as Blue and even the BMW team that was still helping us, and we were helping them. It's just all the guys together did a fantastic job.
And ultimately, what's it like working with Max Verstappen and racing alongside him? We all see him as this Formula One star, but when he's in the sim, he's just one of you guys, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just um, I've been part of the team actually since 2013, I think, from in Team Redline, and in the last couple of years, where the team really grew up, I wasn't able to be really a part of it because I was always training for F1 Esport and other competition that was really not focusing for Team Redline. So this is, I think, one of the first races also that I got to work hard with the team, with my team that I've been. And I know it sounds weird, but it's like it's one of the first races that I've been probably able to work out hard with the team since I joined. And the fact that I saw them, the dedication and the hard work that's in it, it's like no other team I've been part of before during my journey in sim racing. And Max is just one of those guys that I really think, like, you can see his attitude as a champion. He puts the team together. He works on data all day. Like he's doing laps. He makes setups. He's very knowledgeable about the setups. He's just complete all around, and you can tell he's really champion attitude. It's like I was behind. Like my mind was blown away from this because to be honest, I wasn't expecting this at all. Like I know he's a true talent. He's a future Formula One champion, but it's a sim word in the end, and even if you can translate some things, like you might not take it 100% serious, but in this case, he took it like 200% serious with this team and with the team all around us. It's like I really am saying this, but it's been 3 weeks of hard working, and we fully deserve this win. And it shows in the end. Like lapping the whole field was quite a success, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And for you, you don't have many outings on iRacing. We don't see you having that much time, as you've already mentioned. So, why did you choose this particular event?
Well, I'm finally back. I decided to not run the F1 esport program anymore because I was missing like something more hardcore-ish, let's say, of a sim racing, and I wanted to put hours on something that I wasn't. Not gonna lie, I wasn't enjoying it much in the last couple of years, 2 years. I did 3 years of F1 esport, and all
Yeah.
the year, my program and my focus was only on that. And in the end, I was, I think, I don't know, maybe even lacking pace. Let's say, I don't know, maybe that's kind of a style of a sim driving wasn't suiting me really good. So after 3 years, I said, okay, I need to go back to where I belong, to where I started. Like I want to win races because I know I can. And what's a better way to do it on iRacing with my team I have been part of for so many years? So finally, I'm back, and from now on, I'm just gonna keep pushing on onto this as hard as I can.
Let's rewind a little bit though. Last year, obviously, part of FDA that was kind of finally officially a Ferrari Esports team. For an Italian like yourself, that must have been
Yeah.
incredible to represent that brand.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like I know the guys before. Alessio, the team principal, um, and it's been a great experience. I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, being part of Ferrari. When people ask you what job you do, you say like I'm a part of Ferrari. Like it's something really you have to be really proud of to say. We
Yeah.
work together really well. Like they are still very good friends. But in the end, I wasn't happy with the races with my performance. I wasn't just like you can let's be honest, as a professional sim driver you can get paid how much you want, but if you don't enjoy driving it in that moment, it's useless. Like I don't care, I don't want to do it. So yeah, this it's been a great experience. They are great guys. I wish them all the best. But yeah, I hope to like we are still in contact anyway. So hope to like have some races with them again in the future. Maybe not
And one
in
of
the
those,
same team, but yeah.
I imagine one of the things you most enjoyed about your time with Ferrari was being able to participate in the Virtual 24 on a more
Yeah.
hardcore sim than F1 Esports, driving with two Formula One drivers. That must have
Yeah.
been an incredible experience, a kind of a life changing thing.
Yeah. It was super cool. We actually got to race from the museum, the actual museum in Maranello. We were racing there, and I know it was a COVID situation, so not many people could come in. You know, it was very strict, but we still had some public. They could just walk through the museum and saw us actually racing, and it was super fun. And we had a 24-hour like of just laughing and hard working and everything together with the engineer of the Ferrari. Um, we had a great team. Yeah. R Factor 2 simulator. We were helping Charles and Antonio as much as we could. In the end, we couldn't quite get the win. We at one point we were up to P2, I think, after one of my stints. But then some problems started happening with the car and everything. Yeah, that was my again. I think that was my fourth endurance races ever, and it ended up in a bad way again after third time. So I remember the one before also we had a crash after like 2 hours. It was always Le Mans, but on air racing. Like I think 1 year or 2 year before. Yeah, so I haven't really had any luck with the endurance races, but finally now the win came, and I'm super happy with it.
You also were able to do a little bit of real world racing and showed incredible pace. Is the plan for you now to continue to try and do that alongside your sim programs?
Oh well, I don't know. There is always many, not many, but there is always some opportunities. Like at the moment, I don't have any program. Like I'm completely honest with you. But some of the occasion I saw, I'm looking around. There are a few occasions, but I don't think it's going to happen. I want to focus on sim racing. With
Okay.
the COVID situation is critical. So also that plays a big role, in the minor categories. And um, yeah, we'll see in the future anyway. Like that's still a dream for me. Like I know it happened already. It only lasted 1 year, but yeah, let's see. Maybe even the race of champions next year, if they bring up something, that will be awesome. I think they do a great job with that, with giving the sim racer a hope for the real race. So yeah, let's see what the future brings.
As you've mentioned, the Race of Champions, let's talk a little bit about that. A very new project when you were part of it in the first year in Riyadh. The
Yeah.
opportunity to race that first year, then to come back as champion in the second year. You had basically 2 cracks at racing against the world's very best. Tell us how that experience felt for you, coming from where you had come from and going to Saudi Arabia, for instance, that first year.
So first year, I remember Dom Duhan, team principal of Team Redline, called me, and he was like, "There is a race of champions. You know, they are organizing this esport competition where you win, you go against the real driver." I was like, "Please pick me up. I'm all in for that. I want to go. I want to go so bad." So yeah, well, we made that happen. I was flying over Riyadh, a beautiful country, by the way. Like that country, it's amazing, the culture they have, and everything. It's like uh, it was quite unique. You know, I've been because of sim racing. I've been to many places, but that was really cool, by the way. Anyway, yeah, we were there. At the time, I was against Brandon, I remember, and some other guys that are actually quite good all around the world, because they pick like 5 guys of the best sim ref of the best 5 sim races in the world, sim platforms. And so it was quite tough. I mean, the base was Assetto Corsa, so obviously I was, I think, more experienced with that. I had a little bit of an advantage. I was feeling very comfortable on the esports side. So, well, in the end, I managed to win. I remember in the final against Brandon, it was really cool. I was staying calm all the way because you know, when you have that little bit of an edge, of an advantage of you know, okay, this is my simulator, so these guys don't have that much practice in, and I was calm all the way through. So yeah, I managed to win, and then now, like, the good part, right? You get in the real car against the real champions, and that's like, I started to realize that after I won the competition. I'm like, oh, I won, but now I have to race against these guys. I was like, I'm not sure I can do that. And then I started shaking, you know, and from calm to shaking just 1 second after I immediately won the competition. And but yeah, it was like my first time jumping in a real car, I think, I think it was my first time, because I did a Porsche race which I won, but I don't remember if it was. No, it was later in the year. So yeah, that was my first time.
Yeah.
Absolutely, my first time jumping in a real race car, and so that obviously the real drivers saw me and they were like, "We need to calm this guy," because probably some of them like really helped me a lot, like
Like who?
Solberg, Coulthard. They were really like there, and you know, even watching the races, and they were getting interested in that sim world because they didn't know before, and
Yeah.
you know, so we get to know each other, and they start to give me advice also for the real race. Um, so at that point, I was you know, slowly cooling down, and yeah, also Terry was super helpful. He was like my mentor, my coach in the race of champion in the both edition that I did. I so admired that guy. I'm so glad I met him. And yeah, but in the end, I managed to do quite well. I mean, I didn't win a race, a single one, but I still finished only like 4 tenths behind Solberg, I think, something like that. And you know, I take it. I was super happy. For me, it was like a win. And uh, yeah, after that, it was just going back home. I couldn't resist anymore. I just wanted to drive a car more and more and more, and I was waiting for my opportunity. But yeah,
And then you got
was
invited back as the champion to lead the sim racing team in Mexico. And it's fair to say you upset some real professional world champions with your performance, which went viral, completely viral. Your win against Lucas Degrassi.
yeah. Well, after Riyadh, some opportunities opened up, and I managed to do actually some experience on the real cars. I drove a Porsche GT3 Cup in Imola. under a heavy rain. So believe me, if I could have finished that race, I could have finished any race. Like it was the hardest experience ever and the hardest training ever. But yeah, I also drove some pretty fast real cars. So I went into Mexico with a little bit of more of a confidence, but at the same time I was on a plane going into Mexico and thinking, oh no, here we go again. What am I doing? These guys are like these guys these guys are just like racing for life, professional and everything. But I remember this exactly. We were in Mexico. We I was with the real drivers then. I wasn't. I was in the esport team for with all the teams, all the countries, and there was also a esport competition where, by the way, James Baldwin win, and he was gonna be my teammate then in the actual race. But I remember like okay, first laps of practice, we get in the cars, we started driving, starting following the train of cars around the track and start to learn the track, etc. So we were not pushing. I was like, okay, this feels pretty good in control. I remember this exactly because when the guy started pushing and I also started pushing, I was managing to keep behind them. And I was at that point, I was like, I know how to do this. Like I've been doing this in sim racing for so long that at that point that thing gave me so much confidence through all the week, through all the races, that I managed to even beat some of them, and that was the biggest win of my life, I
Did Lucas Degrassi ever speak to you after that point?
No, he didn't. No, he
No.
didn't. I'm not gonna. I have to be honest, he didn't. But well, I think he congratulated. I'm not really. But it was just yeah, congratulations. What else could you have done? I mean, I'm pretty sure it wasn't the best day of his life, but yeah,
The
yeah.
problem was, Enzo, at that point you had quite a lot of traction because I think by that point you were part of McLaren. And so you had all the PR from McLaren on social pushing the story. You had all the guys from Race of Champions pushing the story. You had Formula One pushing the story, and poor old Lucas Degrassi, who had just I think become champion in Formula E, was getting a pounding online because you've beaten him, and so he was. I mean, he was. I don't know if he'll ever come back to Race of Champions to be honest because of it, but it was.
I'm sure it was.
It was remarkable. It was remarkable.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
pushed my hair the wrong way.
Well, yeah, um, it's like it blown it from that point on. My reputation really blew up. Like it was in a good way. I mean, it's people even in the real track started to recognize me here in Italy. So it was that news was so big, and I'm glad it happened because all the years of sim racing, like it's not only giving me a chance, it's giving all the sim drivers a chance because now they can look at us in another way maybe, and that's something also to be really proud of. It makes me really smile when I think about it.
I mean, if you look back at your career so far, you have had an incredible ride representing two manufacturers in F1, representing the biggest team in sim racing with Redline, doing the things and winning the competitions that you've done. Is there anywhere else to go from here? Do you carry on, or do you kind of hang up your virtual gloves and just go, I've had a great time?
No, not at all. Never stop pushing. Like if I stay like you know, sometimes I take like 2 days off, let's say 2, 3 days off. I don't drive every day, but after those 2 days, like I just can't stay without driving, without having a wheel in my hands and pushing pedals. It's just something that I miss so much. I don't think I'm gonna stop anytime soon. Like there are so many competitions. Sim racing is it's only growing up, so um, I just want to win everything there is, and that motivation is still there with me, and the fact that I am in a team where they think the same way as me, and they are there for motivating everyone and still keep pushing everyone. It's just great. I feel like in the right place at the right time, and it's good. It's really good.
tell us where the passion for motorsport came from originally as a small boy.
Oh well, it was just I was playing football as a kid. You know, as 99% of the Italian kids, you play football here in Italy. So I was enjoying it. Like my father likes football a lot. So, but like at the age of 7 or 8, I started to hear my first engine, and I started to see my first cars, first races, and I was like, this is much better than football. And so also my father was playing Gran Turismo. So I think,
Ah,
yeah, yeah. On PlayStation 1, I think we played all the Gran Turismo saga together, and yeah, it was just from there, playing with the pad, with the joystick, then getting a Christmas present, wheel, an actual wheel. I remember, and yeah, from there on, I was just trying to do what I couldn't really do in the real life, and I was trying to
yeah.
replicate it, and that was like the best joy as a kid for me. So I never stopped from there.
So it's complete coincidence that you've got the best Italian name that exists in Enzo. You're not called Enzo because
Yes.
of Mr. Ferrari.
No, not at all. It's just a coincidence. Yeah, it's pure coincidence. Yeah. Yeah, I think about it a lot
Oh,
actually. When I see my name in the races, I'm like, my name is actually Enzo. Like, it's cool. Like, yeah.
it's
Anyway.
fast as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Enzo Bonito. It's a
It
fast
just,
name.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, it's interesting that you started off on PlayStation, but then um, you strive to race on the most realistic platforms. Is realism important for you, especially having spoken about F1 esports being a difficult period for you?
Realism for me plays a big role, but not like the biggest role. If no simulators is perfect, so you just can't look at things like, oh, but this is not my real life. No, it's never gonna. Maybe it is gonna happen, but not anytime soon. Or maybe never. So you just can't look at these things this way. You Usually I don't complain. Like I like to drive everything there is, because I just like to drive. And so
Yeah,
F1 Esport was just another one of those things, but then I realized that, as I said before, I was maybe lacking pace and I wasn't enjoying it as much. So at that point, I just had to focus on something else, I think. And but yeah, it plays a big role for sure, for the people. Like, you can be as fast as you want. If you're doing laps and you don't enjoy doing laps, you're never gonna be as fast as the guy that it's even enjoying laps. You know what I mean? It's quite tricky, but yeah, it's in the end, it's just a passion. You need to use it while you drive, and if you're not doing it, then you think you just won't be fast at all in the first place.
yeah. You always said that you were an Assetto Corsa guy, but obviously now you've had the opportunity to race at a high level on all the different platforms. Are you still an Assetto Corsa guy? And have you had
Yeah,
much chance to delve deeply into Competizione? What would you
yeah.
say is your preferred platform at the moment?
Oh, that's a tough question. Ah, no. Okay, so Assetto Corsa, competizione, not that much actually. I have to be honest, because it's only GT3 based, which is really cool. Like they're doing a great job. But Assetto Corsa, it's a little bit more. You have a little bit more of a surrounding around with all the cars. And this is
Yeah,
not just physics wise. It's just because you have so many cars and so many different tracks, and it's just because of that. But favorite one, I don't know. It's really impossible to say. Like I think I am iRacing is doing a great job, but at the same time, I think the Kunos guys are doing a great job. So it will be like a 45-55, something like that. Maybe even 49-51. So between those two. So
okay.
I think I'm gonna have to go with iRacing. Like I'm honest, but it's because um of the platform, obviously, the online platform. But
Uh,
yeah, in general,
yeah,
yes.
exactly. Yeah. But you put R Factor 2 to one side completely.
But yeah, no. So Air Factor 2, I actually haven't been driving Air Factor 2 that much. Only
Okay.
when good competition comes up, you know. So
Yeah.
it's like I see a good competition, then I start driving it. But other than that, I'm never driving it for fun either. So it's something that I really don't consider yet.
And I guess that's the thing with iRacing, isn't it? It's such an easy place to go and have fun. Whereas, certainly on R Factor, you really have to know what's going on at the right time, and getting into servers is a bit more tricky. And just iRacing lends itself to just click and go.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's easy. Yeah, you just log into the website, and it's same for Assetto Corsa. Like you don't always have to drive only because there is a competition. You also drive for
Hmm.
fun. You know, you think one day, oh, there is this car and this track. Let's just do laps. Who cares about the lap times? You having fun. You just riding around, oversteering, drifting, whatever. And at the point, you're just having fun and driving the simulator, and that adds like experience. So what's better than that, really?
Yeah. ACC have got this partnership now, of course, with the SRO. Who were we speaking to? I think Delatraz was speaking to the other day. There is now the ability to score points in the sim. Does that not make someone like yourself much more valuable to a real world team because you are able to perform at your highest level on the sim and be very fast in the car as well?
Oh well, I think there are so many drivers now that I started to realize in the last year or two that the simulator just helps a lot because you have limited time, obviously, driving the real car, and in the sim, even if it's not 100% realistic, you are still driving and you are still simulating a lot of things. So
Yeah.
at that point, I think even the real driver doesn't take long until he starts to go fast on the simulator as well. Like you can see, we have so many of them now, and they are all even like this. Who is decent quick or who is super quick, like even faster than most of professional sim drivers. Like Max, for example, like he's so quick. Like sometimes he's quicker than our pay drivers, and it's like it's mind blowing, you know. Like sometimes we tell him you should do this professionally. Why are you doing F1? Like yes, it's stuff like that. It's crazy. But yeah, the SRO competition now that it's really good for both worlds, I think, because
Yeah.
the real driver is gonna need anyway an help from the sim driver, um, maybe because all the setups of the sim, how they work, and all the tricks, and yeah, it's gonna be really nice to see how that plays. I'm super excited
Mm.
about it.
So 2021, obviously, it's kicked off pretty well with the Bathurst 12 hours win. What is your objectives for this year? Have you got kind of things you want to tick off? And obviously, one does sound like just having more fun in the sim world again.
Well, yeah, there are many competition coming up.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna focus on Assetto Corsa and iRacing at the same time. I'm just trying to figure out my schedule with the team also right now. So, but yeah, definitely going for the iRacing World Champion next year. So I have to qualify again this year, and then whatever comes up, I think, and the team wants me to do it. I think I'll just try for it. Yeah.
Do you fancy the World Championship in the Dallara IR01 a bit later on this year?
Yeah, yeah, that's something to consider also because we have our oldest legend ever in the team, like Gregor Hutu,
Yeah.
obviously, and he's been off now for some months actually. He's busy with working, but I can't wait to come back because he will surely be one of the strongest guy there, and he's gonna be a motivation for the some of the guys in the team who wants to run it to do it. So, and I think who knows, I might actually change the idea and then go for it instead of the Porsche or whatever the world champion is gonna be next year.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Enzo, it's been great to chat with you. Really, really enjoyable to catch up. And I'm so glad you're positive and well and still fast. we'll make sure that we'll get an invite out to you to perhaps join our Pro Sim series before the end of the year, before the end of its season, which is only 2 more races actually. And we do have the Pro Sim race this week. So this coming Wednesday, 8 o'clock local time, make sure you jump onto our VCO channel, and we will have, I think it's the penultimate round, maybe not quite the penultimate round of the Pro Sim series, where we have pro drivers and sim drivers racing together and having a lot of fun. So you'll be able to join me and Lewis McGlade on that, and we've got lots of things up our sleeves as well. But I am so happy that we finally nailed down Enzo Bonito to chat with. It's been fantastic. Thank you so much, Enzo.